Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. Before you do anything else, please like, subscribe, and share, and all that stuff. So I just recently read Becoming by Michelle Obama, and this was literally the book that has taken me the longest to finish reading. I think I bought it before January, like late December, and I just now finished it last week. So it took me a very long time to finish, and I finished it because I started it. So I was telling myself, you started it, now you finish it. So with that said, I don't recommend the book. Not that it's a bad book, it's not a page turner. When I read books, I want to be glued to the pages and just flipping through them because it's so interesting. And not that I was bored, because every time I did pick it up, I was entertained. I mean, I wasn't like, oh god, this book sucks. No, I mean, I was entertained. I got to know her a little bit better. I didn't know much about her. I'm not into politics, which I think is a bad thing. I think you should be involved in politics because people make these decisions that affect you and then you didn't have a say in it. So I think getting political is something that I probably need to start doing soon. But yeah, I mean, unless you're a huge fan of her, I don't recommend it. I mean, you could probably watch an interview and get the gist. But I'm going to talk about some of the things that caught my attention in this book. So I didn't know much about her or Obama, personal level or things like that. When she was younger, she's talking that she plays with her dolls and things like that. And she says there were births, feuds, and betrayals. There was hope, hatred, and sometimes sex. And that really caught me off guard because like, whoa, this is going to be a very honest book. And I said, okay, I like that. And I think as children, everybody does that with dolls. You bend them over and make them do each other. So I'm like, okay, she's going to be really honest, which I like. Because I read Ricky Martin's book. I actually have it right here. And Ricky Martin's book was not very honest. It was like watching anything on E! News, or the true Hollywood story of Ricky Martin. It was very generic and very on the surface. And I didn't like that. So I appreciated the fact that she was getting real honest and just raw. So I like that about it. Another reason why I read this book is because I love autobiographies and I like to just see how people, make it, what type of person. I want to know what drives them, how they got there. I'm really into biographies of ambitious people, and I think she's a role model for anyone, who wants to get somewhere. Very hardworking, very smart, very dedicated to her craft. So she is an inspiring person. It's just a slow read. It's not, I don't know. I take that back. Maybe I do recommend it if you're someone who has a career path and very clear and defined goals. I think she could be inspiring to those who are going places. Another thing that I was shocked is that her and Obama smoked weed. It says, we fooled around and smoked pot in his car. And I guess that was public knowledge because I had mentioned it to someone at work and oh, well, I didn't know that. So I thought that was cool too. It made them more relatable, I guess. And she's a very relatable person. And then I didn't know that she was the one who mentored Obama when she was working at that law firm. I thought that was very interesting too. She was once above him. Also, I thought that it was very cool that she was in charge of all the legal concerns with the show Barney the Dinosaur. I thought that was funny. I hate that I Live You, You Live Me song. When my brother was younger, he had a Barney doll and he hated that doll. And then it makes another reference to the smoking weed. It says, as a teen, he smoked pot in the lush volcanic foothills of Oahu. So they spend a lot of time in Hawaii, which I love. I've been to Honolulu. Very beautiful. A very sad part in the book is when her father passes away, and that was actually super sad. I even cried. So, and now that I'm looking back to this book, I'm like, oh, maybe I did like it more than I thought I did. But that was really sad, and I don't know what I would do if I ever lost my father. I like this that she said. It says, most of us lived in a state of constant calibration, tweaking one area of life in hopes of bringing some steadiness to another. And she's talking about when they're campaigning. But I think I can apply that to my life. You're constantly calibrating who you are as a person and making adjustments to make, a better version of yourself. So I really like that, and that's something that's really stuck with me and that I'm going to carry for a while. I'm constantly being calibrated. I think the most interesting part of the book was probably the second half, because that's kind of what I wanted to know. I really enjoyed when she's describing the inside of the White House, because I've never been inside, just outside. So I really enjoyed that. Just kind of how their security details, did everything. That to me was very interesting. And I guess because I was in the military, so all of that was more interesting to me than the first half. I also thought that it was cool how, the Bushes welcomed them in, kind of showed them around the house prior to them moving in. They left their differences aside, because Barack did criticize him while he was campaigning. So I thought that was very nice of them. And I was wanting to read if they did that with Melania and Trump, but I think I read somewhere that they declined that. And I wanted her to touch on that, but she didn't. I mean, I don't think she was gonna say anything if it wasn't nice. There was a lot of mention of Sam Cass, who's a chef, and she mentions him a lot. I think they're really close friends because he's in here a lot, and I was very captivated by when she was talking about him. So I had to look him up on Instagram, and he's very attractive young man. Sam Cass, you are. So she mentions a lot of people, and that was the only one I was inclined to do some research to see what they look like. You know, I used to be an art teacher, so I really connected with this when she said, "We wanted to highlight the importance of exposing children to the arts, showing that it's not a luxury but a necessity to their overall educational experience." And I think that is so true. I think kids who are in tune artistically make more academic progress in my experience as a teacher and seeing it. I think kids who are into the arts are more rounded. I just think what art does to a child, and even just like art, whether it be, you know, drawing, painting, music, dance, I just think it makes for a better rounded child. They're less likely to get involved in like illegal things. And then she also writes, "I knew how arts and culture contributed to the development of a child," and that I can totally agree with and back her up on that because I used to be an art teacher. This also really touched me when she says, "Kids will invest more when they feel they're being invested in. I understood that there was power in showing children my regard." And that is so true. The more you're invested in a child, the more you inquire about their lives, the more that you acknowledge their existence, the better that child is going to do. Like when I was a teacher, I would always make sure to compliment kids like nonstop and always make them aware that I was aware of them and every little thing that they did, new haircut, new shoes, whatever. And I just think in that aspect and like how she focused so much on children's education, if I had a hat, I would take it down. I like this too. She said, "Have one's feet planted in reality, but pointed in the direction of progress." And I feel like that's something that I can apply to myself. You know, always have your feet very well planted and grounded, but always pointing in the direction of progress. See, now that I'm going back with this, maybe I did enjoy this book more than I thought I did. I just think the fact that it took me so long to finish is what made me think that, okay, well, maybe I wasn't that interesting. But when I did pick it up, I enjoyed what I read. I'm very captivated by her. After I read the book, I watched her performance on James Corden, the Carpool Karaoke with Missy Elliott, some of the stuff she did with Ellen. I think she's a very interesting, strong woman, a good example for not just women in general, but for men as well, and for anybody who's about progress and education and things that matter in this life. So I know I said I don't recommend it, but I'm taking that back. Now that I'm talking about it and I went through like the stuff that I highlighted, I think she's an inspiring woman. She did a lot of great things, so pick up the book. I think it's on sale now. And then tell me in the comments what you thought about the book. I'm a big advocate for reading. I think you should always be reading something. I'm already on my next book, which I will talk about later. But yeah, please like, subscribe, share. Until next time, adios y bye.